It's the 1st of March and we've got a glorious Portuguese day, and today I'm going to be fitting the Maxxair-MaxxFan I've had in the boot for a month. So I need to get it out and get all the bits out and figure out what's what and stick it on the roof. Well, that's all the bits. It's upside down at the moment. So that's the inner shroud. That's the fan. That's the top shroud, I think. That's the one that it sits in, right? So that's going on the ceiling, on the roof, and then that sits inside it. Well, what I'm going to do with them, I'll get them in somehow. So I've opened the fan up manually, so the lid goes up. The first thing I've noticed is the outer shroud has got retainers there to screw that into when it's in position, but I can't for the life of me get that to go low enough. Maybe I'm just not pressing it hard enough. I can't get the holes lined up. First problem. Well, I've been fiddling with this for 10 minutes and I still can't see for the life of me how that flange hole there is going to meet up with that there, because the rubber underneath it there bottoms out and there. So even if I squeeze it hard, it's never going to go in that hole. That hole, it doesn't line up. Well, we'll worry about that later. Worst case, I'd have to pre-drill a hole in there and use a self-tapper if it's not going to go all the way down. Right then. And that's where it's going to go. I've bought a detector and I've checked that there's no electrical cables or studding or anything there, because it's going to go there in that square. That was me pressing the button. Nothing there, I hope. Best unplug the power anyway. Still no hole yet. I've got to be a bit careful because right where that is, above, outside, is where the satellite dish is. So I've got to keep left of that. It's far over that side. I'm going over there, I think, so it shouldn't interfere with it too much. But it does stick up a bit, so I don't want the satellite dish to hit the top of the vent. So you'd need the dish up every time you open the vent. That's not going to work. So I'll keep over this way. I'll take it all up now and stay in position and see how high it is. Roof, I've marked it from the inside. I measured it from the inside, and that's where I want it lined up to in the inside. All measured up. Hopefully it's in the right place, just there. Centre 620, and it goes that way round with the clips on the outsides. Now I've got 400mm square marked out. It's far enough away from the satellite dish not to interfere, so that goes straight up and round. I think it will anyway. And it's time to start drilling. So drill each corner 400 square, then get the jigsaw and jig it out. On the inside I've just taped up a bit of plastic sheeting to stop any mess falling down. The 4 holes are in. I'm just going to follow it around with the jigsaw now. Okay, now we're going to jigsaw out the hole. My sunglasses, please. Just like that, all the way around. You stand underneath it now and grab it. The board and everything's going to fall down, I think. Can you manage that? Voila, one hole, 400mm square. No cutting through cables or anything. Nice and neat. The cowling will just sit right in there, like that, and then that goes on top of there. Jobs are good. So that's the original. Right, and now I've got a big hole above the kitchen area where the fan's going to sit. Hopefully it's going to miss the satellite dish. So the cable from the fan comes across here. It'll go through a hole in between the two skins, through the cupboard, behind the cupboard, and into a hole that I've already drilled there, so you can't see the cable on the outside. So all I have to do is drill from there to there, which is a bit of an ask, but so all I did was I got one of these and I stuck it in there and I drilled all the way through the two skins to get to that point over there, so the wire can go through there, whoa, making loads of fluffy mess, and then be routed through the back of this cupboard over to the power over there, love. The power point is up there, so it's got to go through this cupboard at the back. Ciao. So the next job is to feed a cable through the hole I've just drilled all the way through to this side in the cupboard so you can't see it, and then drill through this cupboard on this side, through the TV cupboard, through the back of the TV cupboard, and down out where the power outlet goes, through here, and here's where the 12 volt I'll pick up behind that. It's behind that box that everything's mounted onto. I'll just cut it into that on a permanent supply because there's a fuse on the fan, so it doesn't need one. That's fused anyway, but that's it. Put the cable through, and then when the fan's in you won't see anything, but the cable goes through there. Top job. So I've given it a good wipe down, and then I want to apply sealant all the way around the edges, let it go off a bit, let it set a bit. This stuff, what have I got? This is great stuff, I've been using it, they buy it in Portugal. All the way around the edges, let it go off a bit, and then pop the cowling cover into it, and then a bit of juice all the way around every screw hole just so no water gets in at all, and that be that. So they give me 16 screws in the packet, there's 16 little divots all the way around here. I put a tiny little bit of silicone sealant just underneath each one where the screw will break through the plastic to seal underneath the head of the screw. Now I'm going to put the screws in gently, lowest setting on the screwdriver. I don't want that banging down hard just yet. I can always just tighten them up with the screwdriver later. All I want to do is seal, but not be all the sealant squishing out all over the place. Doing that now. Like that. So all the screws are sealed in, screwed reasonably tight. Then I'm going to go around the edge of all of it with the sealant, just make a thin bead all the way around the edge. With 4 stainless screws, I can now drop this in to the hole where it goes, wires through the hole, and that should drop in there like that, and then screw, 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 screw. You're pointing at this? Yeah. 4 screws, screw it in, done. And that is the outside bit of the installation done. You just screw it in from the sides, there and there, both sides. It's sitting in the open position at the moment, but as you can see, even when you're driving along forwards, no rain's going to get in. You can have it open. It's raining and you're driving along because the air gets sucked in under there and blown down through there into the kitchen. Job done. For air, I'm just going to wire it up. So once you've finished the wiring, which runs through there and under there and through there, just wire up the fan permanently. You can put this inner cowl on. You've got to cut it off. I cut a bit off for it to fit in there all the way around the edge, and then it just pushes on and screws in, and you won't see that when the cover's on because there's another cover to go on the top of that yet anyway. So it's all wired in through the cupboard into the power supply in that cupboard, and that's it, job done. You get a remote with it, turn it on, fan automatically opens up. You can shut that anyway. You can close the lid and start it running. You've got speeds on there, you've got a set temperature, so you put it on auto and it'll open when the set temperature is reached. Just Goes up and down in speeds. Fill up. 20%, 30%. That's 30%. You can just hear it. And you can reverse. Just reverse it. Reverse the direction. So now it's blowing air in. It was blowing air out. And you can even have it running with the lid shut, so that's all automatic. Bit noisy. And now it's just circulating air. All done, time for a beer.